Hello guys, how are you doing? This is Kobe with another not so quick analysis. This time I'm gonna be talking about bait. The article from the Dota Legend Danes. I really like this team, they're very young players and they play a lot. But the truth is that in the start of the year they struggled a lot. They replaced the hat trick with another WP from the academy team, and now they found the seeds from Spirit Academy. They are playing well currently, but as I said, they struggle a lot. It was a big gamble because Hat-Trick is an excellent player. Really like Hat-Trick. But that's it. Let's see how they play the Ancient. Sorry about that. Starting with the profile. Well, I really like the CT style, because they play this aggro play style. We're gonna see a lot of mid aggressions on the map, from here. We're also gonna be seeing some A aggression, a main that isn't uncommon from the ancient, as the teams usually play a stacked B defense. But I think that bait isn't a common thing. They play this play style of aggro, and they something that they also do is this pack defense. And by pack defense, I mean that they play 3-2-3-2-3-2. There isn't a solo bomb. That's what I mean. No, there are always three players, two players when on bomb side, one mid give up. Either A, B is give up, either mid is give up. So when you attack bait with the T side, you're running this game, it is a 50-50. You either fight defenseless or you find two players. And also they play the rotation with the strong AWP because C's play a lot of positions. He plays A, he plays B on the long, he plays top mid, he plays Dunnet. And this fits very well with this well-rounded aggression mixed with this back defense. And I really like him. Also, I think that it is hard to pull out. Not every single team can play like this. And the way Bait is playing, well, fantastic. Starting with the WP mid, as I said, our boy CZ plays the WP in multiple positions, so he can play inside Dunnet, but also inside top mid. This is the two main positions on the mid side. And the key difference is that, when he plays Dunnet, he has Kenzie Sir with him, so they play more together. When he plays top mid, he has Nipple. So that's this two cycle, he always plays in pairs, not alone. And the way they makes very effective with the WP is that he opens this possibility of engaging on the mid side. That's why we see just the standard Molotov plus the smoke on the mid side, because they have three players. They have this push potentials to come out. That's why these aggression plays make so strong for bait, because you're playing strong on the mid. So well, the teams need to react for this aggression. They can go B, and when they go B, we have Alex plus Essential playing very defensive position, on the long side, on the box side of the map. Sometimes you play Cave, but mostly Alex plays in this part of the map. So they curve up the defense. And once again, I said they give up. A side, A main, no one. Even though you can argue that Dunnet, it is a side, but for me, in my opinion, on the read of the Ancient, I consider Dunnet as mid. But some people I saw in the discussions in Twitter, LTV, talking about the Dunnet, it is A. But that's the way, the interpretation from the map. That's CS doesn't have a specific lanes, CS doesn't come with, well, Valve says this part of the map is A, this part of the map is mid. That's the freedom Valve gave us to decide whether part we call the map, okay? But if you consider Dunnet, well, they play as a side. But in my opinion, it is mid. Now for the 2 mid and 3B, once again, another set of aggression, we have this beautiful line that it is Nipple playing on the Dunnet, so he can move with a lot of utility right here. You see the nade to break the smoke. And then an unconventional smoke on the mid of the mid region. And the reason why they throw this specific smoke is because Kenzie starts top mid, but he wants to rotate on this corner. Let's just erase everything. No, erase and swap the colors just real quick so you can see. Red? No. Green. Green. Ancient is already green. Light blue. Here. So Kenzie plays this part of the map. So when he rotates to this corner. And it's a quite powerful rotation, because they have the smoke, so he enters the smoke, he passes the rotation, and into the corner. Meanwhile, Nipple also plays in the mid. And this fits what I said during the profile, the aggressive play style of them. They always play aggressive on the own side of the map. Give up A, B is strong, so if the T decide to push B, 3 players this time. CZ, Alex, and then Essential on the cave. And something you can pay attention is that there isn't a smoke, a Molotov here in this part of the map. There isn't maybe a flash, some nades, no, nothing. Because the mid, it is the aggressive point. Because Kensi Sir, it is rotating towards the corner of the map. So he rotates and take over this part of the map. Now for the Aggro mid, another play style really pushing the aggressive mid, same approach. But this time Seize on the top long of the map, on the long part of the map. Alex, instead of playing this corner right here, just waiting here, he plays in the aggro ramp. So they have 2 players on the mid side, on the B side of the map playing aggro. They have Essential in the cage, but near the cat. So he can move in the catwalk, so he has this control with the mid players. And once again, it falls in the same thing that I talked in the previous positions. They push mid with Nipple, with Kinsisor. And the result is that you close catwalk. And this is the natural path when you think about this side. Most of the plays from most of the teams on the Ancient, the small map, it is to control cat. Astralis do this, Foot do this, Legacy do this. Everything that plays Ancient controls cat. Every single one of them. It is the default play, like in the middle when you play 2A, 1 window, 2B. Sorry, 2B with the short player. It is the same default play. So the default play in the Ancient for the T side, it is to control the cat. And when you push all this pressure, you take risks because you're gonna be finding players on the T side right here. So you have to win the duels, and that's why I think that the way Bait plays the map, it is risky, but it is very good because the teams aren't expecting this early aggression. The more slower teams like Pervision plays a slow setup with Noto, or if Jamie playing top mid. So you see there is a difference between the tempo. Now for the Aggro A, I really like this play. By the way, Nipple and once again Kinsisor, they really push the aggressive limits on the map, either on the mid or either on the A side. And now it is one of the positions that if you're putting the aggressive on the A side, that is the less common attack, you kind of isolated 2 players, So these players are really far from the mid and also far from the B side. That's why you should have your AWP, that's why you have CZ on the top mid. Because either he has the WP or the rifle, he is ready to rotate. So in case there is a rush A, he goes spawn, temple, connects on the A side. If the teams are going on the B side, he rotates. And you have to know this mid player. You can't play 2A or 3A, 2B. Because if you fully give up mid, only controlling the side of the map, you fall short to the donut, you fall short for the flank aggression. So see, in the only play that they play in a more conservative way with 2A, 1 mid, 2B, it is because they're playing the aggressive on A side. And that's the biggest issues of playing aggressive A side. And that's why very few teams pull these aggressive moves. So Bait is taking a risk, it is taking a conventional approach. And you may ask, well, what is the reward of playing so risky on the map if you're giving up too much space on the map? You take a lurker because some teams run this lurker on the A side. You preemptively take a rush on the A side because when teams are playing this A side rush, you throw the smoke here, maybe smoke here, some utility on the tempo position. So you're already cutting, then moving with the utilities on hand. So because they're pushing utilities and throw. Maybe 1, 2 players have the guns, maybe 1 players have the WP on the back with 2 players right front of him with the guns. But the odds are that you find someone with utility in hand, you fight someone alone, that is the lurker. So that is a nice reward to play, even though it is risky. And now how to counterplay. How you should be playing on the T side against the Bait. My opinion, first thing, cat control. It is the better brush for every single team. You should be playing this because it is the strongest position on the map as the T side, even though Bait pushes the aggressive, like I said, with attacks from here. And by the way, also that's why you have a Molotov on the corner, because Not just King Sister, I saw some positions with Nipple also playing the same position when the King Sister opens in the Molotov plus smoke, sorry, smoke plus Molotov. So you should be throwing this Molotov. You can't give up this place so early on the map. And that's why you should be controlling the cat. Make your cave player be more active. Make your player on the long part of the map. Not like Alex plays. I don't think this is the strongest position on the B side. I prefer the long or the shorter position. The shorter because you can connect on the cave and can walk. The long because you control the ramp. So in my opinion, you should be playing for this control. Now on the mid side, well, in my opinion, you should be reacting to engage with splits. That's why I wrote mid split, because you either play 2 and 2, so you control cat, since Alex is right here and isn't the long, as I said, that is the strongest position. So you check him with a Molotov. Some shoots also, it is a good way because this is a wall that you can shoot trophy. So you shoot, you can control with the mid. And now the second part of the split, it does erase everything. The second part of the split, that is the cat control, it is to go done it. And that's why you have a lurker A. I do think that even though they play this aggressive with an MPL, with an Impulsar and Kansas Star, the lurker A, it is still very strong position. So when you're moving right here, be aware, like, there is at least one player, maybe two players, so don't play shy. Don't play scared, slow, no, play fast. Because if you find the two players, the information can give you to your team, it is before rotation. So you die with it. Maybe 30 seconds on the clock. Fine. Your mid, your cat positions, engage on the B, engage on top mid and then flank, whatever. But you gave the team the time to respond. If you take too much time, if you play very slow, there is the risk of the CZ on the top mid already move out. He doesn't see anyone on the A, he doesn't see anyone on B on the cat. You move, you rotate, it is the logical way to play the map. It doesn't stay rolling angles on the top mid, or doesn't stay holding angles on the donut. So the lurker A, very important to play the map. Now I want to reinforce this mid split, because something that I like to this mid split is that when you control the cat walk position, or this position right here, you can split the players on the B also. 2 ramp, 2 cave, and since Alex, once again, it is on this position, since maybe Caesar is in this position, maybe Essential it is in this position, I do think that is strong, They give up a lot of space on the B. There isn't a team like Astralis that plays a strong B with always 3 players. No, it is 2, and it is Alex right here, this position that I really don't like. Now, let's go for a break here. By the way, 518. The previous 2 videos, 9Z, 9Z, sorry, 9Z, as you English you say 9Z, but it is 9Z for me. And then B, I had very good result. One of the reasons why I think that is the subscribers number, it is growing higher than previous times that I was making the YouTube channel, is that because of the feedbacks of you guys, I really started to make you one upload of a short static from these videos per day on the Twitter. Twitter, I have more followers. Twitter, if not wrong, I have 2.5K followers. But the thing is that I really start to post, and there I got traction, a lot of traction on the Twitter. If you follow me there, it is the same you handle, Kobis, yes. And I started to get more likes, more shares, more saved buttons, more subscribers there also on Twitter posting these charts. I'm posting daily. The only day I didn't post it was yesterday, because I always mix up Sunday, Monday. I never know if today's Sunday or yesterday was Sunday. But either way, yesterday, Sunday, Monday, the day after Saturday. It is a sacred day, for people. I usually doesn't post. I prefer to take this time for myself this day specifically. I go to the church, I go to this stuff like that, So it is a day that I relax. I don't enter social media very often, unless it is a final in the tournament, and I like to watch. But the overall rule is that I take this day for myself. But the previous day, it is every day. I posted Big, I post Quest, I post Aurora, I post Vitality. It is the same tactic that it has on the videos, but the difference that I explain a little different because I have to explain in the 1.5 minute clock timing, and also there isn't a connection, coming from the previous position, and then another connection coming from the after position that I kind of make the links when I'm speaking. So it is just isolated position. That's why I record again the position. Okay, now let's move to the T side. They play very standard, bait plays this, like every team plays. I don't know what to say about big on the, so I keep talking big about bait. I don't know what to say about bait. And by the way, I don't think that is the first time I say big in this video. Because in the last video I recorded, it was big and now it is bait. In my mind, I think that is too rapid on the last video. Since they are very close pronunciations in my mind, bait and big. But anyway, moving back to the profile, sorry about that. Bait plays this very standard play, like every single team plays the same spots, the heavy catch control, 2 lower mid, 2 ramp, 1 player right here. It is the next position, by the way. They play in this way. But the thing that bait uses to diversify the attack, it is the mid attacks. They're gonna be attacking Dunnet, they're gonna be attacking mid, they're gonna be running the catch control. I just erase everything so you can see once again and change it to this light blue. So they will play in this coordination with the mid. The ramp, you're gonna see 3 players. You're gonna see some plays right here on the ramp. You're gonna see the players on the catwalk position. But that's the region where bait spends most of the time. It isn't wrong, by the way. Every team plays like this. It is because it is a good position. It is an easier position. It is simple to play. But that's it. Hard to say about Ancient on the T side because everyone's doing the same stuff once over and over again. Cat control, as I said, there is the position that we're gonna see most of the time coming from bait. CZ playing the support, as it gives 2 players the option of having the control of the utility on the mid and also on the B side, to control the cat. This smoke, it is to fade the Molotov, as always, the CTs will throw 2 Molotovs, one set here, another set here, here. So you need to block these Molotovs and they fade with the smoke in order to establish this control. And that's it. Isn't much to talk. Because after control, then comes the expansion plays. Dunnet, top mid, and then flank, or even catwalk position, cat cave position, ramp position. Now for the AWPB, a more directed position. And this position has 2 main setups. First setup, it is a passive one. Let's just make different colors so you can see. Purple. It is this line. CZ will play on the ramp position and control the long player right here. Meanwhile, the team also stays in the same region right here, but he is alone in giving control. So he is alone in giving up this part of the map. So giving the control for the bait on this part. And the idea that he wants to find an open. If he finds an open, the teams follow him. So the 3 players they stack on the B will follow his lead, but he needs to find this open. Otherwise, the team keep moving. Otherwise, they keep having the control on the cat position. So see, cat control is so important for them that they have 1 player in this spot. Now for the second line, on the same position. That is, instead of going this all the way, the focus on the... Sorry. Here. Instead of giving this focus on the ramp position with CZ, they have this line to engage on the side. So the idea there is that, once again, cat control established, they will engage on the cave. So see, the difference is that he stays here, crossing the angle, because the player from the cave, if he moves, the player from the catch room, if he moves, he has the WP to go over. If the CT decide to engage on the mid, he once again has this move, because you only have 1 mid player, not 2 players, just 1 player alone. And that's why we see this shift of intention on the ramp. This shift of intention from C to WP. The first, it is to wait the team and then he makes the open. So here the idea, he is the lead. He wants to open ramp. But here he is the support player. So see, one support, another aggressive. Same player, but different approach on the map. And that's very good. You know, it requires a lot of coordination from the players and a lot of trust because you are trusting CZ to make this angle on the ramp to win the duel. In this case, he's just a secondary player, you know. Nipple will make the contact on the ramp. Turn the ramp now in the cave. And then he'll follow. Nipple will make the contact here. And then he follows. He makes the protection. A split and more aggro play on the A side. To mid, to A. And this is something that I really like about Bait, because Bait likes to attack the A side, not just attack. A lot of attacks happens on the A side. And as I said previously on the CT side, it is a region that I think that is underexplored on the map. You know, few teams try to attack this, but Bait attacks, and I really like. Approach, quite simple. We smoke top mid, the players on the mid have this space on the map. They give up the control on the catwalk, only one lurker, because it's always good to have one lurker. It's because the cat player may be moving, so he connects from behind, while the mid players are having this lower position. They engage from donut, and then the players open on the A side. It isn't a very fast tempo, you know, it is a mid tempo position. If you think, you know, maybe 1 minute on the clock, they still doing this position, they still prepare. That's why we doesn't see a lot of utilities, only a flash on the middle of the map, maybe a smoke on the tempo, maybe a molotov on the elbow of the position. But the idea is to split A to mid. Now for the A attack. Almost the same idea, but this is a faster position. That's why we have more utilities on the map. That's why we have a smoke here, another smoke, a flash on the open of the map, because these two players are waiting for the A attack to happen. So that A attack is happening on the map. The two players are engaged right here on the mid, maybe to take out a possible donut, a possible top mid player. No control on the B side of the map, fully ignored, so doesn't need to have this part of the map, because the main focus is to open mid, while the A attack is making the chaos. The A attack has the bomb, you know, the bomb it is on the A side of the map, and they are pushing. Counterplay. Well, as I said, I prefer a more controlled position on the B side of the map. That's why I think the long it is most important, especially because CZ plays this passive long, as I said previously. And then you must have your KV player very active, because from the rotations from CZ plus the team members from here, 3 players, this region is under a lot, and I really mean a lot of pressure. And now you reach the top mid. The top mid, it is the glue of the map. Oh, sorry about that. It is the glue because it needs to rotate. That's why I think in a WP, it is better on the top mid, not the rifle. If you can play your WP here, you should be playing here. So you can rotate to the short position, not for the long, because you already have one player on the long position. On the A side, same stuff. And then the donut. But I do prefer the donut on the aggro. The donut aggro moves, engages from here and here. That's why you have your WP on the top mid, fixed. So he engages, so he gives all the cover he needs for the donut player to move. The top mid WP doesn't need to go along like Bait do this. When I showed you on the CT side, like Bait plays this mid aggressive with Nipple plus Kinsey as 2 rifles. No, you doesn't need 2 rifles. You need 1 rifle and 1 WP. WP passive, just giving control, and a lurker. My honest position, it is this far behind. I know there isn't the standard like players do this, like players play more like this. No, I do think here it is better, because you are far away from the aggression on the A main. That is where Bait attacks. You are also far away in case donuts fall. You know, if the player on the donut falls and gets run over, you are in a safer spot. You can rotate back tempo and then CT spawn. But also, if the B side of the map, if this part of the map it is being engaged, you once again can rotate. Just erase everything. So, What you should be doing also from the rotation, it is that B side can rotate. It's not that because I talk about A side, you should also be playing this part of the map. That's why the long for me becomes even more powerful than this Alex position. Because you are closer to the rotation. I know you're closer also to the ramp, but from the ramp you can connect here. A flash, a Molotov, whatever. You have the possibility of these utilities on the map. You doesn't need to stay on this off angle. And that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Talking about bait, it was very fun. The channel is growing. This is good news. I think that I cover everything about to say about bait because bait, as I said, they struggled a lot. So the other demos, it is real bad to watch. The other demos, it lacks some structure, it lacks some cohesive from the team. But the newer ones, like they played during the previous tournament, the PGL Bucharest, they lost against Foot. It was a close game. They stomped the Legacy. They played very good against the 3D Max. So overall, good tournament for them. The Ancient, it is improving, but it lacks something on the T side. On the CT is very good. The CT side is perfect almost, but the T side is lacking something. That's it. Bye bye. See you soon.